I don't talk a lot about Netflix movies because I tend to not see a lot of Netflix movies. If I'm at home, I'm always trying to watch piles of discs, or I'm going out to the theater. Once in a while, I'll see a Netflix movie in the theater. But we stumbled upon this film on Netflix and watched it the other night, and it was so good, I felt like I needed to talk about it. This is a film from last year, from 2023, called Nowhere. It is a Spanish film directed by Albert Pintó, who did the Money Heist TV series, I think, which was also on Netflix. It stars Ana Castillo and Tamar Novas, and it's harrowing. It's a harrowing tale of survival and perseverance of the human spirit and so forth. Basically, the story is this. Man and a wife, she who is pregnant, are fleeing a semi-futuristic, semi-dystopian Spain where for some reason women and children are being rounded up, and it's like a Nazi regime in Spain or something. Or like the costumes almost look like the visitors from V. They're fleeing through, the typical illegal ways, mules taking people across borders and stuff. So you see that process of these people being hoarded into like a shipping container on a truck, and they're going to try to get on a boat, and they're going to try to get to Ireland because this weird futuristic fascist world hasn't quite taken over there yet, and they think there's safety to be found in Ireland. And this movie is the story of what happens when this woman gets separated from her husband and has to survive on her own in a shipping container. I hate to give this much away, but this is really the majority of the story takes place here. She is in a shipping container on a boat that falls off said boat in turbulent waters, and she is floating alone in a shipping container in the sea. And how does she survive as a pregnant woman with limited resources in the middle of the ocean somewhere? It's like a white knuckle, edge of your seat, grit your teeth, dramatic thriller. It had me from the moment go. There might be moments where it seemed a little unrealistic here and there, but it's a survival tale. It's a movie like All Is Lost or Gravity, or one of those movies where somebody is in a really terrible situation alone and they have to use whatever resources, whatever MacGyvery resources are around them, and whatever knowledge they personally have in life to try to survive and get help. Incredibly hard to watch at times. Sometimes there is implied bad things happening that you don't see. Sometimes there is extremely explicit bad things bodily that are happening, some natural, some unnatural, that is shown to you in gory, gruesome detail. And there are times where it's just like, this is a movie like I want to recommend to certain people, but I have to let them know. Some of it is a little hard to watch. It is in Spanish, it is subtitled, but that should not be a problem. I think it should never be a problem, but it shouldn't be a problem with a movie that's really good if it draws you in. And in this movie, there are incredibly long stretches of no dialogue because the woman's alone. So she occasionally will try to call for help in some way, or she'll talk to herself in some way, but a lot of it is just like a silent movie with sound effects and music. Very, very well executed, great special effects, because I do believe she was not truly floating in a shipping container in the middle of the ocean, but watching it, you do believe that she's actually floating in a shipping container alone in the ocean. Just a really, really good survival movie. Like so many movies on Netflix, it's kind of dumped there with no fanfare. Unless your algorithm shows it to you, you probably aren't going to find it. Nowhere. Just search for it on Netflix. I thought it was really good, totally worth your time. If you're a horror fan, it delivers gruesome stuff. If you're a drama fan, it delivers that. If you're somebody who's interested in the human condition and a film that is an extrapolation of how things are for some people in the world, this movie has that. Really, really good. Nowhere on Netflix. I mean, it is on Netflix. It is a film called Nowhere, to be found on Netflix.